Jeong, Jeong, who is a member of the Seoul City Curling Department and is a full-time player looking to play a freeze to this red-yellow combination. Here we go. Brooms down from Team Jeong, trying to drag this all the way to the top 12, all the way to the top 8, and this is going to be a little bit light, settling just in the 3-guard zone, a few feet outside of the rings, but it does guard the left-hand side of the sheet as we look at it. James Grattan quizzically looking at the combination, trying to determine the best way to move forward here, and looking at about a board weight hit and roll as the best option. Throwing here is Ian Jerlink, a 38-year-old engineer with WSP or Stantec, if memory serves. We're going to have to talk to Ian after the game, get the confirmation on that. Has been a high-level curler for many, many, many years, and has always been here at the Stu Sells Halifax Classic. So, Ian, thanks again for coming back. We appreciate that. And that is a lovely bit of curling. Does over-curl a hair. Spins the shooter out. Moves both reds of Team Jeong behind the tee line. And leaves 2 yellows, one fully buried, one half buried near the center line. So I mentioned this is the crossover game. So how the draw works this year, and I might have to call on Phil Kroll to come explain it to me. But I believe we have Team Jeong number 1 in their pool, Team Flemming not number 1 in their pool, playing here as their last round robin seeding game before the playoffs later today. And that is going to be a little bit tight from Jeong. And he's going to peel the top yellow. Not a terrible result. It does open up the center line for them, so they have access to those yellows later in the end. James trying to figure out what the best path forward is here to get their multiple score, and looking at a nose hit double on the back to reds right now. Looking around the rings, we have all 4 sheets in play here at the Halifax Curling Club. On sheet number 1, we have Team Tremblay against Team Asselin. I believe Team Tremblay number 1 in their pool, Team Asselin the not number 1 in their pool. On sheet number 2, which is our other feature sheet, being streamed in the incomparable Hugh Avery on the call there. If you're not feeling me and my call, you can always go listen to Hugh on sheet number 2. That is Team Steele, Team Colton Steele, number 1 in their pool, versus Team Nick Mosher, the not number 1. And then on sheet number 4, we have Team RGL, skipped by Joel Kratz, against Team Moybrook. I believe Moybrook, number 1 in their pool there. Got to check the standings. So the double was made, and now we have 3 yellows in play. So here is third, Minwoo Kim, 28-year-old full-time player. This stone is going sideways on them, and that is all over the guard as well. So this is going to stick around. Just will stick around at the back of the 12-foot, but I do believe it is a full 3 yellow stones in play for James Grattan here. So James trying to figure out the best way to keep a multiple score in play. Guard was an option, but there's many ways for Team Jeong to get back into the 4-foot. And so looking for a little tap, angle tap to sit a bundle and sort of start to cut off the scoring zone for Team Jeong. And that is the call there. A nice little tap. Does leave a couple of different options for a double or a triple. Skip ByeongJin Jeong looking at the angles, trying to figure out the best way to start to open this up and maybe try to get back to a blank. But I think they'd be happy with a single if they can find that that they are looking at 4. There is probably a triple there now that he's looking at, but over the top would be about a third or a quarter, maybe about a third to make it good into the side of the yellows. Not sure if the quad's there. He's looking at now coming underneath. The angles are close to make some yellow granite move here. 9:06. It's too early to be playing this much weight. Really. Games here aren't timed. Lots of thinking time available. All the thinking time available for them to look at the angles, figure out the best way forward. Only person that is concerned is our ice maker, Adam McCarahan, who wants lots of time in between the ends to do his magic. No concerns so far here. The game's got on a little early. Adam has been fantastic all weekend. Him and the entire ice-making crew have just been lovely, getting absolutely fantastic conditions for these curlers. Every draw has been just great. And so, Adam, thank you to you and to all of our ice-making volunteers who have been helping put the event on. So that was Minwoo Kim throwing the high hard one, throwing Peel, trying to get some yellows moving, and does get 2 out, and then now 2 yellows moving back of the house. Do believe the yellows are still second and third. That red is probably fourth. So James, I think the call here is for oh, there you go. You heard it from James. Yellow is second and third. Looking potentially here for just
trying to find a hole on this guy.
Looking for a nose hit through the hole to sit 3. So this is Team Flemming, Team Paul Flemming, the father of curling in Nova Scotia, as it were. Paul, the recent senior world champion, representing Nova Scotia, representing Canada at Senior Worlds with Craig Burgess, part of this team. Very successful year they had last year, looking to repeat that this year. He's away this weekend, so asking James Grattan to step in and skip, and that was very nicely thrown. Just a hair low to get the red through the hole and to sit 3 here without last rock in end number 1. As the higher seed, I do believe that Team Jeong gets the hammer here in these crossover games. So time to try to get something moving here with sitting only 4th shot. Team Jeong is in a tough spot to get their multiple. Nosing this, making a straight back double doesn't get you shot stone, I don't think, on that back 8-foot stone. So James will have options here to set up the force. This is over curling. Low. And that's just going to be right through the hole. And so, Jeong sitting second shot. James Grattan sitting shot. Now looking at a way where to put a Yellowstone.
This is probably safe. So it's got to be fresh here. Like there, same weight maybe? Or it'll curl that much, eh? That's gotta get. Oh. Okay.
Good insight there from James, talking about this spot being a little fresh. And by fresh, he means they just haven't played this path yet, in warm-ups, and then in this end. In this end, we've been on the other side of the sheet a lot, and so the pebble might be a little higher, a little more built up, and so you might get a little bit more curl here. This is a little tighter than the draw to the button path they would have played in practice. And so just making sure they account for that in the ice and the weight call here.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Straight, straight.
And that is fresh. A little bit extra curl there, but does make the double to sit 3. And so Jeong options here. Could throw a nose hit on the top one that James just threw and get their one that way. Or without any guards in play, the draw to the button path from practice, pregame practice, is there. And so looking at that as the way to do this, get the feel for draw weight here and sit their one forced to a single here in the first end. So first end, this is hammer, the last stone from Skip. ByeongJin Jeong looking for full 8-foot, bite of the 4 for his single. Sweepers backing off of this. Trying to get it to grind. And this is sliding. Not stopping yet. Craig Burgess on the brush, and that's going to be at least a single. Looks like a steal of 2 here on Saturday morning for Team Flemming, skipped by James Grattan. Taking a look at it just to confirm that. Definitely 1. And looks like the indication was a 2. So, steal of 2. I think if you asked James before the game if he was okay with a steal of 2 and N1, I think he would have been okay with that. So 2-0 Team Flemming after 1 end of play. We'll be right back after these messages.
Nothing is as exquisite as the enchanting crimson and golden tapestry of fall. When revving your Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Fall for Subaru at your local Subaru dealer today.
Hello, and welcome back here. End number 2, Saturday morning, draw number 13 at the Halifax Curling Club for the Stu Sells 1824 Halifax Classic. For those of you just joining us, my name is Alan Ehrenholtz. I'll be bringing you the action all day today. We have 4 draws, 9, 12:45, 4:30, and 8:15. And we have 4 sheets in play for each of those. We hope you can join us in person live because admission is free. We have some absolutely lovely events going on. We have floor curling from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I will play you. There's your challenge to anyone who wants to come down between 10 and 2. I will play you at floor curling. We'll put some beers on the line. We'll have some fun. And then tonight we have our East Coast party. We have an oyster bar from 6 to 8 p.m. and we have some stompin' tunes from 8:30 until late. And I promise you I will be here from 8:30 a.m. this morning until late tonight. I will be here all day calling the games, having some fun. So please join us in person at the Halifax Curling Club. If you're unable to make it down to the venue, well, stick on the stream. Join me online. Tune in, comment, tell me where you're joining us from. I'd love to interact with you and be a part of the event in any way, shape, or form. Back to the action here. We have Team Jeong down 2-0. Team Flemming skipped by James Grattan, getting a steal of 2 in end number 1 on Kelly Middlestad's first. Kelly Middlestad, a lawyer at Birchall McDougall, coming a little bit deep, a little bit of an over curl there, and Team Jeong ignoring it, looking for a corner guard. Then Kelly putting up a very nice center guard right on that center line. No tick rule in play here at the Stu Cells. Again, Team Jeong looking to ignore that and come around their corner guard, try to set up their multiple score.
컬러. 컬만 컬 와야 돼 많이 보여 와야 돼 셋 와야 돼 이거 고고고고고고고고 더 와야 돼 진짜 더 와야 돼.
So that's a lovely bit of curling. I don't know if it's fully buried, though. So Ian Jerlink, the PNG and the PMP, project manager with SNC Lavalin. I'm sorry, I got that incorrect in the first end. Ian looking at maybe a hack weight chase here. There you go, James indicating hack weight. From Ian, looking to tap this redstone that was just thrown by Jeonmin Kim to remove it from play and sit 2. And that just took off. Not sure if that picked or was well, I guess it was a little light. Look at this. Just stopping at the T-line-ish. James removing it from play on the sideboard. Don't know if it picked. We've seen a lot of movement off of the center line all weekend. And so maybe just getting caught there, not the most positive release, and just going sideways on Ian there. So unfortunate, he'll look to adjust. But this gives Team Jeong the opportunity to chase the stone back 4 foot and sit 2, set up to tie the game. A little bit of hack weight here. Just again, a nice sweepable, controllable weight, nothing crazy. Just looking for the tap here. And might have wanted to roll away there. This redstone now behind the T-line in the back of the button. You could easily decide to chase and freeze on that red. James looking to Ian, giving him an opportunity to make up for his last. Looking to adjust, make this nice hack weight throw. Kelly Middlestat, broom down.
All the way. Yep. Okay. That's what he would have did the first time. Yeah, he threw it the same way.
James thinking there maybe there was a pick. Threw it nice both times, just took off on him. It was a little light on the first one as well, but maybe that was due to the pick taking some weight off of the throw. So sitting second shot, Team Jeong the opportunity to come around the center guard and sit 2 buried on the center line.
라인 좋아. 타포 좋아.
나 약해 보인다.
라인 좋아.
The sweepers like this. They're saying a little bit of room. This rock has to curl a long way. Getting the carve sweep, the knife sweep going now. Trying to drag this back to the center line. Doesn't quite get there. It is about 2/3 open. So opportunity for James to ask third Peter Burgess, the executive director at Blueberry, Nova Scotia. Not sure what they do. I'm going to have to look that up. to remove some reds. James saying the most important thing is to stick around. Don't need to make the double, can jam the reds, but need to stick the shooter in the rings here.
Yep.
Right out of the hand, Kelly Middlestat, broom down, trying to hold this.
Yep. All right. High. High, 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 high.
And jams on the top guard, spins the shooter, doesn't look like it catches the rings. Unfortunate jam there, not the result they were looking for. So Team Jeong an opportunity here. That back 4-foot stone gives James Grattan some life. Even if Jeong makes a good guard, James could elect to draw and freeze and really shut down the end. So Jeong looking to play the corner freeze, sit 3 that way, and then that keeps that back 4 stone open, so if he needs to hit later, he can. So here we go. Min Woo Kim, third for Team Jeong, looking for the corner freeze in the top 8-foot here. It's live curling. James, get all the sights and sounds here at the Halifax Curling Club. That's going to be a little light. And by a little, I mean a lot. That's about 8 feet light. From Minwoo Kim, not the result they were looking for. Again, maybe a little fresh going across the center line. They wouldn't have played that path in practice, and so maybe just getting caught up on the weight a bit there, guarding the Team Flemming stone, and so opportunity to nose this, make the double, and sit 2 for James Grattan. Here we go. Peter Burgess. Just a bit of an overcurl. Drives the red by, doesn't make the double, leaves the yellow shooter on the center line, and opens up a double on the yellows. And so another opportunity here for Team Jeong to sit 2 and set up their multiple score.
I just think there's so much pebble. In the first 2 ends, we've been getting screwed. He really reefed this outside.
Interesting feedback there, Craig and Peter. Sorry, Craig and James and Peter. My apologies. It's early here, folks. Need a little bit more coffee to get this going correctly. But hearing that, it's a little fresh, a little extra curl here, trying to adjust. Good spirits between James and Peter.
I had there for Peel and it nosed it.
Yeah, you rolled actually.
I think normal right there.
So just confirming, Peter Burgess, Executive Director at Wild Blueberry Producers Association of Nova Scotia. I will look up that organization, provide some more information on what Peter does, what the Wild Blueberry Producers are doing. I know you're all interested. I am. But for now, James looking to nose this, maybe get a hair low and split the rings with his 2 yellows and look to force Team Jeong to a single here.
Firm.
Right on the nose. Didn't get the roll away, but that will play. Really just needed to sit 2 and start to look at a force. Jeong the opportunity to roll, maybe back 4, back 8, get a little bit buried, and that's probably the only way he can bring the 2 back into play here. Yeah, nose is okay. That makes the single really easy. James saying that maybe that stone is a bit of a cutter and might be looking to swap that out.
Yeah, I know.
James and Peter in good spirits here Saturday morning at the Halifax Curling Club. Been a great event Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Absolutely fantastic. We're happy to continue the event to move on through Saturday in our men's crossover games. So we have number 1 seed Jeong against number 4 seed Flemming. Oh, he's looking to straight draw. I thought they might hit and roll, but instead looking for straight draw. This is a bit heavy.
As far as it'll go, I think.
And does make a nice draw to the back of the 4. Sits second.
It's a good leave. It's a good leave. I'm just saying because I just threw it, right? Yeah. I like it. I think it's the same ice, a little more weight. Yeah. You probably get a little kick, maybe.
I think you can take an inch more.
Inch more, yeah. We are always hitting it thick, right?
If we freeze here.
Yeah, we have to do this. Whatever I had, plus, yeah.
Interesting conversation there. You could chase the red, tricky leave. We've already talked about how coming off center line, there's big curl, tricky spot. So, you could freeze, but if you freeze, there's actually a double if you don't get the angles right for 2. So James Grattan saying, I have to come off my own and make the double this way.
We got to move it like 2 inches.
There you go. You hear him. Doesn't have to move it from plane. Just have to move it into the 12-foot. So it might look strange to say I'm throwing peel off my own shot stone, but takes away the deuce if this is made well. Yep. Ian Jerlink brushed down.
I got it.
And you know what? That's really well-made. Doesn't move the red, but does sit shot stone, corner frozen, and by virtue of removing his own stone on the back button, there is no double. So really good lead from James Grattan there, and it's going to force Team Jeong to draw to the 4-foot for their single point here in end number 2. It was a little heavy on his draw in the first end. That gave Grattan the steal of 2. We'll be looking to make the correction here and take the single. Needs full 4-foot. Brushes are down, looking to keep this redstone moving. Don't want it to grind and stop short, but that's really well thrown. Right to the pin. Very well done on the Ocean Contractors. Built on quality. That stone was quality. That's a single for Team Jeong. 2-1 for Team Flemming after 2 ends of play. We'll be right back after these messages.
Enjoy fall to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
뭐 꼈나? 던져보고 안 나가면 말해야지.
Team Jeong, Team Flemming. We have a 2-1 Flemming lead. Jeong forced in end number 2, and so Team Flemming, skipped by James Grattan, will have the hammer here in end number 3. It is lead Jongmin Kim looking to come into the top 3-guard zone and set up for a steal if possible, get Team Jeong back in control. It'll be Team Flemming looking to get their deuce and really open this game up. Kelly Middlestat here, 49-year-old lawyer at Birchall McDougall, sponsored by, in the very, very stylish blue sweater. We love the blue there for Kelly. Great color, sponsored by the Curling Store. And Ready Refrigeration, great company. Ready Refrigeration did some great work on my house, so shout out to Ready Refrigeration. Looking to come around the center guard thrown by Team Jeong into the top 4 foot.
Sit, boo-boo. Sit.
And that'll settle top T-line, top button. Very nice throw. And so the freeze is on here. A little deeper, maybe about a foot deeper than they would have liked, but really, really close from Kelly Middlestat there. Jeong-Min Kim looking to freeze.
야, 여기 있어, 민우야. 야, 웨이트만 먼저 해줘, 웨이트만.
If you are joining us, I have 50 people, it looks like, on the stream. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for spending your time with us here at the 1824 Stu Cells Classic. Let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to engage. I'll try to do a trivia question later. Would love to get some engagement on the stream. And we'd love to get some engagement here at the club. Admission is free, so please come join us down at the Halifax Curling Club. We would love to have your participation in the event. That stone from Jeong-Min Kim coming a little bit deep into the back 4 foot, a little wide opportunity. James Grattan looking to call another stone buried in behind this center guard from Kelly Middlestat.
Okay, wait for line. Your weight's fine.
Ian Jerlink on the knife, trying to get this yellow to move over a little bit wide.
Keep going, Ian. Keep going, Ian.
That's going to come right to the face, and that's a really good stone. It's not fully buried, however, it does sit two, and really tough to remove both yellow stones in one shot. You can tap the back yellow through and sit buried, but Team Jeong electing to bail here and potentially try to save them. Open this up, maybe go to a blank. The end didn't set up. The angles aren't good for them, and calling the peel here.
Curve. Curve. Come on, no.
Oh, lovely. Great curling shot from Jae-Lee Jeong. Didn't go for full peel weight. Didn't have to throw a ton of weight there. Instead, throwing a nice controlled, maybe normal takeout weight. Leaves the shooter around to use later as a guard potentially, and removes the yellow from place. That's a lovely bit of curling. So here's Ian Jerlink. He of the very fashionable gray cap. Looking to sink a second yellow into the rings here. Sit two. Doesn't have to sit two right now, but would love to get the angles right and potentially set up a Christmas tree. And that would put a lot of pressure on Team Jeong, and that's just a little bit light. That's the second time that stone has been light for Ian. Maybe a little bit of a heavier stone. Is going to have to make an adjustment there. Does get the little bounce, and that does allow for a guard, or that stone to sit as a guard on the yellows. It's not a terrible result, but not exactly what they were looking for.
만져가고 싶은데.
This is Min-Woo Kim. Sorry, this is Jae-Lee Jeong looking for a freeze on the yellow. Sweepers pick this up right away. It is floating out there. Now they switch to the curl side. Not going to get to the face of the yellow, but leaves that red in a good, usable spot. James looking to get rid of it, and the easiest way to get rid of it is by using their own yellow guard. The angles are better this way, and so Ian looking to play this run back yellow-red combination and leave his shooter out front. Quickly looking around the rings on sheet number 1, Team Tremblay and Team Asselin locked in a 2-2 battle. On our other feature sheet, called by the lovely Hugh Avery, you have Team Steel up 1-0 on Team Mosher. And over on sheet number 4, you have Team Moybrook up 2-1 on Team RDL.
Not bad.
On him.
So Ian getting some stones moving there, gets a couple of reds behind the tee line. Unfortunately, the angles are such that Team Jeong can't really make a play on that back yellow, and so they're going to look to freeze, sit shot, stone corner frozen, and try to cut down the scoring area that way. This is third, Minwoo Kim.
아이 좋아.
They've been caught here. This spot hasn't come up for them. Been a little wide on the previous 2 draws, but this is looking really nice. Wow, what a throw. Fully buried, corner frozen, shot stone for Team Jeong. That's a lovely bit of curling. James now looking to remove the yellow stone, either straight peel or run back the yellow and try to open up their, bring back the 2 into play that way. Peter Burgess with the backswing delivery. We love to see that little throwback. Throwing some weight here, throwing some heat. Ian Jerling trying to keep this straight. Does move the guard, catch a red on the way by, open up the corner frozen stone. So lovely throw from the executive director of the Wild Blueberry Producers Association of Nova Scotia, Peter Burgess. Been with them for 4 years and 7 months, according to LinkedIn. Get your blueberries here in Nova Scotia. Don't go anywhere else for your blueberries. So this is grinding on them. Team Jeong looking to guard the corner frozen combination. Does get across the center line, but it's a little high, and I wonder if James is going to come around that and try to make a play on the corner frozen stone. There you go. That's the indication.
Do you want to slide? Not much. Control.
Indication is for control weight.
Yeah. Solid board then. Yeah, I go board. Because even if you... It's nice to keep your shooter somewhere.
James asking for solid board weight. Maybe about 11 or a 10-8 between the hog lines. Stay high side on the red, remove it from play, and try to sit 2 reds both buried.
Board. Close. Stay on it. Stay on it.
Kelly Middlestack carving this over by the guard.
Oh, beauty.
Very nice.
Keep going.
Doesn't quite remove the red from play. That
Nice shot.
yellow thrown stone is going to be about a half buried underneath the yellow corner guard. Very tricky spot here. We've talked already about how the stones are coming off the center line pretty hard. Lots of curl. So that's going to be a tricky spot between the high red and the yellow corner to remove this yellow stone from play.
1, 상대 1, 3.
Maybe throwing a bit of weight here to try to keep it straight through that hole.
오케이, 오케이.
So here is Skip. ByeongJin Jeong looking to chase the yellow stone thrown by Peter Burgess.
에이. 에이. 칼.
Broom down here trying to get this to carve through the hole. By the top. By the, oh, what a shot. Does remove that yellow stone from play. Great sweeping. So sitting 2 now, Team Jeong without hammer here in end number 3.
For now. Yeah, maybe. Try that.
I don't.
Roller.
If we play this roll, are we jamming this here and that being 2 and 3?
Maybe. No, I don't think. I don't think so.
It would have to net.
Yeah. And it might be better to leave it there anyway, because if he plays the cross house double. Like, just nice control over here. You threw one there.
So, by virtue of rolling big, you have a double available, hair high side double for James Grattan to sit 2.
Just a hit and flop on top, I guess.
Oh, okay, sorry, my apologies. Looking to play the hit and flop on top of the red, sit 1st and 3rd. So here's James Grattan looking to hit and flop on top of the red. Has to curl here. Floated on him. Does make the double. It jams. I think does enough to sit shot stone on the left side. Yeah, there's the indication, tapping the yellow. So yellow is shot. However, not the result they were looking for. Wanted to try and sit 1st and 3rd there. Team Jeong looking for the force, is going to chase this yellow stone.
조금만 더 하자.
안쪽만 쓰면 되겠다, 안쪽만.
So this is a different path, a little wider here, playing hack weight around the yellow guard. Would love to sit 2 reds here. No double if this shot is made, and that would force James to a draw for the single.
백좀 다운이야. 왜 좋아, 왜 좋아.
Broom's down here, trying to keep this straight. And that is all over the yellow. Oh, tough result there. So that maybe just a bit light, a little fresh. The weight came off that stone, and so James will have a draw, full 12-foot for their 2, and a 4-1 lead here on Saturday morning, the Halifax Curling Club. Here we go. Peter Burgess holding the broom. Kelly Middlestat and Ian Jerlink on the brush. James Grattan filling in for Paul Flemming here, looking for the draw. Full 12-foot for the deuce.
Good line.
Sweepers have the brushes down here. Heavy clean, no panic yet. And that will settle down back 8 foot. So that is a 2 and a 4-1 lead for James Grattan after 3 ends of play here at the Halifax Curling Club 1824 Stu Sells Classic. We'll be back for end number 4 in just a second.
Nothing is as exquisite as the enchanting crimson and golden tapestry of fall. When revving your Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Fall for Subaru at your local Subaru dealer today.
Hello and welcome to end number 4 here at the 1824 Stu Sells Classic. Me and Adam McCarahan here, Ice Maker, having a little bit of fun in between ends, looking at potential trivia questions, looking at history here. When you have James Grattan, Peter Burgess, Kelly Middlestat, and Rink Paul Flemming, you have unlimited trivia questions. So if you're on the stream, if you're listening in, please let me know where you're listening from. And I think maybe in end number 5, we will ask a trivia question. Hoping you can join us and participate, see if anyone will be able to get that correct. Up to 72 on the stream here Saturday morning. That's pretty good engagement. So please let me know where you're listening from, or let me know if you're listening to Hugh Avery instead of me over on sheet 2. That's a Mosher Steel game, locked in a 1-1 game after 3 ends, playing in 4. Team Asselin and Tremblay. On sheet number 1, it's 2-2 over there. Team Moybrook and Team Argyll, it is 3-1 for Team Argyll, skipped by Joel Kratz this weekend. 3-2, my apologies. Over there for Joel Kratz's rink. Corner guard up. Team Jeong looking to set up the multiple score. James Kelly's first rock, again over curling a hair, coming into the side of the 4-foot back tee line. So instead of throwing up a guard on the center line, we'll look to guard that yellow stone. Kelly's first one has been curling a bit. His second one has been a little straight each of the first 3 ends. We'll see if they make an adjustment here.
Looks good. Line's fine. Always straight, though. Yeah, you're good.
It's going to slip into the top of the 12. Almost biting the top of the 8. Will guard the first stone. And Team Jeong going to ignore that for now and play around their own corner guard.
라인 그대로. Yep.
Brush down here.
웨이트만.
Looking to just get this into the top 4, top 8. Would love to sit second shot here, if possible. Just by virtue of where that corner guard is, though, it'll be very tricky. And that will settle behind the corner guard, maybe poking out a hair for third shot. So James can ignore this if he so chooses. And Will looking for the center guard from Ian Jerlink.
Line's good. Line's real good.
Doesn't need anything, you're fine. Straight if anything. Tight as you can, tight as you can.
Good communication there from the whole rink. Good throw from Ian. Kelly and Peter on the brush, and James just communicating them. Yeah, you know what? The line was good. Weight was good. And guess it ends up in a really nice spot guarding both yellow stones. Team Jeong going to have to play straight peel. Not very many options to get some yellow stones moving in the house without leaving their shooter out front as well. There you go. Indication is play the run back, leave the shooter out front for a center guard. Trying to curl this up, get close to the nose.
좀만 더 슈터 살아야 돼.
Little thin, will roll over for a second corner.
Okay.
Not a bad result. Not what they were looking for. They would have loved to move some yellow around in the house. Sitting third shot is, they're going to have to do a lot of work to bring that into play. James can throw another guard or can start to open up those red guards and bring that, open up that third shot red stone in the house.
I'm thinking this will curl. You don't want it? I think we need more ice with this turn. Strike ball? I think I like that. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Looking for peel weight here. Will stuff. Wow, lovely bit of curling there. Does stuff, doesn't get the double peel. Single peel, though, moves the red. The red in the house is now available.
More, but he really got that inside. Yeah.
Shoots the Yellowstone over and guards the yellows. Very nice. James saying he was a bit tight, maybe, but good result.
I don't know how he throws it, right? So if he want, I can give him 5 feet more. I don't give a shit.
James providing some very authentic feedback for Ian there. Might have been a bit tight, I guess. Not sure if 5 feet of ice is the right play for a peel there, James, but we love the we love the idea. We love the feedback nonetheless.
We're keeping them distracted over here, which is good.
Straight peel.
Sorry. Sorry.
James keeping Team Jeong distracted on the center line, but also distracting himself and forgetting to catch that hit stone. Maybe a little surprised he's up 4-1. Wasn't expecting to be here. That being said, playing a great game so far. Has the opportunity now that peel was made on Ian's first. He has half a red stone, can chase and remove it from play, and sit three. Sit three without hammer.
Yep. Whoa.
It'll go off center line here.
Curl.
Carve.
I don't know.
Oh, straight by. That's the first stone we've really seen stay straight coming off the center line.
No, hey.
Maybe a bit more ice. Seeing Ian's curl on his, maybe giving a little bit more ice, adjusting for that, and not seeing the same action with less weight on Peters. So opportunity now. Team Jeong can make this double and sit 2 with hammer.
10초 9. 12.
야!
야.
와우!
에이, 괜찮아.
칼! 칼! 최대한 슈터, 최대한 슈터, 최대한 고고고고고고고고고고고고.
10초 6.
So a little bit of an overcurl. Don't know if they actually had to make the double there. That's fine. Sitting second and third shot, and the Yellowstone back tee line is available. So the
All we
multiple
go
scores
there.
in play.
Deck. Same weight.
Peter looking to make an adjustment here.
Yep. Yep. Right to it. Yep.
It looks like
Okay.
tight ice.
A little down on that one.
Maybe a little down, James saying, and that'll roll straight through. So opportunity to hit, split the rings, and set up the
야,
two.
뭐야?
범퍼.
As we set up here for third, Minwoo Kim's second stone, we'd like to remind folks, Bachman Turner Overdrive announcing yesterday a new Canada-wide tour for 2025. Back in Overdrive, great tour name.
와우!
Big Randy Bachman fans here out in Halifax. They will be coming to the Metro Center
예스!
May 2025, so tickets not on sale yet, but if you're so inclined, I saw Bachman Turner Overdrive earlier this year at the PNE in Vancouver. Fantastic show. Fred Turner, big enough, won't be joining, but Tal Bachman, him, the author of She's So High, will be joining his dad and
I guess we just take our licks at this point, eh?
they will be an absolutely fantastic show. So we'll
Same
get your
as,
tickets there when available for the Metro Center in May of 2025.
Normal. Yep.
Looking for the nose hit. There we go. Called and made. Sits. Shot stone. Team Jeong now has to make a hit and roll themselves, sit two. There's not really a three in play right now. Just looking to get their two, Team Jeong, and get back in the game here.
자, 저쪽 한 다음에 더블각 애매하게 준 다음에
So this is Skip,
더블 안
ByeongJin Jeong's first, looking to sit the two, get their deuce, get back in the game. Peter Burgess and James Grattan of Team Flemming watching on.
웨이 좋아.
야!
Brushes down here.
야.
Yep.
Very nice. Gets that out of the 12-foot, and this is where we saw Peter Burgess over curl a hair, so James is going to have to be careful. Doesn't have to stick around. There you're hearing
Doesn't
him
make
just...
a difference, so.
Yeah, there you go. Hearing him say, we're going to throw this solid. It doesn't make a difference. The two is on, so just wanted to make sure they don't give up a
Keep it up
three
a
here.
hair here. Firm.
go. This is staying high. Will stick around for shot stone, and so going to have to deal with it. I don't think you can ignore it. You do have to hit. Leaves the opportunity, or sorry, the risk of a roll out. Just played this path inside out, so they should be close for the 2 and a 4-3 deficit. Here we go. Final rock, end number 4. Towards the home end here, the Halifax Curling Club. Little big is the indication. Carve, now going straight, starting to go sideways. Right on the beak. Very nice. That's a 2 spot. That'll make it 4-3, Team Flemming over Team Jeong. Going into the second half of the game here, Team Grattan, Grattan will have the hammer in end number 5.
Hey, curling fans, I'm standing here in front of Sheet Stew here at the High Park Club, and I just want to let you know that I'm so excited to sponsor the sport of curling, to help curling out. So you can go to stewcurls.com, see all my events, see the Stew Sell series, but you know what? I also sell real estate as well. So you need to buy a house, list a house, condo, rental, business. Look, give me Stu a call.
Enjoy fall to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
Hello and welcome back. End number 5 here, sheet number 8 at the 1824 Stu Sells Halifax Classic. My name is Alan Ehrenholtz. I'll be here all day bringing you the action live on the stream or live and in person. Come down to the Halifax Curling Club. Free admission all day. The beers will be flowing. Fun will be had. I'd like to this time thank our sponsors. 7th annual men's event brought to you by Steel Subaru. 4th annual women's event brought to you by Neon Train. The partner sponsors include the Curling Store, Crombie Reet, Scotia Square, the Murphy Hospitality Group, the PEI Brewing Company, and our supporting sponsors include Stanhope Simpson Insurance and Stu Sells Realty. We have ourselves an absolutely fantastic evening or day, full day event here at the Halifax Curling Club. We have floor curling from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I will be here. I will be playing floor curling. I will be putting beers on the line. If you come play me in floor curling, we'll play for a beer. Hope to see you. Hope you beat me. I'd love to buy you a beer if you beat me in the floor curling. And then tonight, we have our East Coast party, Oyster Bar from 6 to 8 p.m. and live music all evening. So please do come down. Consider coming down and joining us. It'll be an absolutely fantastic event, a fantastic party. If not, love to engage with you on the stream. Let me know where you're watching from. All 63 of you that are deciding to spend your Saturday morning with me, I really appreciate that. Looking across the rings here, we have a 4-2 Team Asselan lead over Team Tremblay on sheet number 1. Our other feature sheet with Hugh Avery, the one, the only Hugh Avery, calling game number sheet number 2 between Steele and Mosher, and that is a looks to be a I can't see. Paul Dexter's in the way. Classic Paul move. Looks to be a. They haven't put end number 4 up yet. They're still playing in end number 4. It's a 1-1 game right now. Then on sheet number 4, back and forth, we have ourselves a game between Moybrook and Argyll. It is currently 4-3 for Moybrook in end number 5. So, as we get going here on our feature sheet, we have Kelly Middlestat, the lawyer at Birchall McDougall, looking to come around the center guard here, freeze a red stone in the 4-foot, and start to set up for the multiple score.
Hard line! Hard line! Hard line! Go, 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 go!
This is a beauty. Wow. Kelly Middlestat, Ian, and Peter on the sweep. James Grattan on the line call. That is an absolute beautiful shot. Sitting back T-line, frozen on the Team Jeong stone. Really, really great throw there from Kelly Middlestat. So, Team Jeong looking to now freeze themselves, playing the other turn to get the angles right. And this is going early. Brush down, trying to hold this straight. Look at this, coming right down to that Yellowstone. A little bit of a bounce, but those angles are really, really great. That Yellowstone always goes out if you play on it. So James is going to have to be careful here and get the angles right himself. Now, end number 5 here, second half of the game. We will open up the trivia to those here in the lounge and those on the stream. I'm going to look at Hugh as well to participate in this. Whenever you have James Grattan and Paul Flemming, you have an unlimited amount of potential curling trivia. So we might have a few questions here, but first, the first question will be, in what year did Paul Flemming play in the Canada Games? So we're gonna have we'll have some hints to that question, but the question is, in what year did Paul Flemming play in the Canada Games? We'll get the answer to that, and we'll ask some follow-up questions here at the end of the 5th end. Ian Jerlink looking to play a run back, was a little bit tight, leaves a yellow out front, and so Team Jeong in charge here in end number 5, looking to play another red into the forefoot and really make the situation tough for James Grattan. So on the stream, Tina, thank you for chiming in. We already have an answer to the trivia question. Tina has gotten it correct. Paul Flemming played in the Canada Games in 1987. We'll ask a follow-up question. What was the result? Where did Paul Flemming finish in that 1987 Canada Games? What was his result? Tina, thank you for chiming in. We appreciate you engaging on the stream. Now, again, follow-up question. Paul Flemming played in the Canada Games in 1987. In what position did he finish that event?
I know.
I like the freeze, but
We have a very nice freeze played by Team Jeong, and James could blow this up, could try to start to get the blank in play, but the angles are good for him. A little tap, a little rearrange of those red stones, just where that yellow or that red finished, could potentially open up a bigger score. So Ian and Peter are going to come look at this and decide what the right path forward is.
I'm just thinking we might.
Again, follow-up trivia question. Looking around the lounge here,
edge, which is good because
1987,
right?
Paul
If you roll
Flemming
the center
played
line,
in the
it should
Canada
say the double.
Games. In what
That's-
position did he finish that event?
Even if you hit it here, like. Inside, I think you got to play with like normal.
The stream is all over this. I thought this was tricky. Mark Robar saying Paul Flemming finished in a silver medal position. That is correct. So we know that Paul played in the 1987 Canada Games and finished in second place. Thank you, Mark, for participating.
Take out turn down here.
As James and Ian and Peter look at what to play here on the Reds. Follow-up again, second follow-up.
Yep.
Who was on Paul Flemming's team in 1987? There's one current, and the hint is there's one person on that team that was commentating with me on Thursday evening. So who was on Paul Flemming's team at the 1987 Canada Games representing Nova Scotia? James, Ian, Peter, after some discussion, have decided that the run back peel option was the best shot. Open this up a little bit. A little bit wide from Ian Jerlink. Drives the yellow by, straight peel. I think they'll be okay with that. That opens up the Reds. Requires Team Jeong to make a really good guard here so that they can keep the steal alive. Yellow is shot stone, so eventually Team Jeong will have to play on the Reds, and that play will require a little bit of weight and might give an opportunity for Grattan to get a multiple if the angles aren't correct. But for now, I think the call is one more guard to really get the put James in trouble. This is third, Min-Woo Kim looking for the guard. Indication out of the hand is a 3 guard.
그대로.
셋. 셋.
However, this is moving early. Does grind to a spot right on the center line. Really nice throw there. Guards a little bit of both the Reds. The combination red, yellow, red. The angles are really nice there for Team Jeong, so I think they're happy with that placement.
We need to roll it.
Probably board if we need a roll.
All right, so end number 5 here. We have the trivia continuing to go through. First question was, what year did Paul Flemming play in the Canada Games? Tina, thank you for responding, 1987. That is correct. The follow-up was, what position did Paul Flemming's rink finish? The answer was silver. Thank you, Mark Robar, for that answer. And then the second follow-up was, who was on Paul Flemming's rink? And the hint was, they commentated with me the other night. Tina, you are correct. It was Glenn McLeod. Marty Gavin giving me the nod. It was Glenn McLeod on Paul Flemming's rink, coming second at the 1987 Canada Games. Thank you for engaging on the stream. Really appreciate that. A little bit of fun here Saturday morning at the Halifax Curling Club.
턴은 아웃턴이 좋아 보이는데.
So after the miss there for Peter Burgess, Team Jeong has a decision to make. Where is the best spot to put a red stone? That yellow is still shot. It is going almost always on the right-hand side of the sheet, back onto the red. So how do you make this situation really challenging for James Grattan?
짧게.
좋긴 하다.
짧게.
바운스는 얘는 거면 이렇게.
So it looks like Team Jeong is elected to put another red into the rings, into the pocket with their own 2 reds, and that'll be really challenging for James Grattan to then now get out of this with more than a single. Lonely, lonely yellow in there on the button right now for James and Team Flemming.
빨라 보여. 아니야, 못 건드려, 못 건드려.
아, 기다려야 돼. 라인 안 돼. 어차피 걸려.
11.
This looks a little bit big and a little wide. Has to grind down.
냅둬.
튀어.
And that'll just be a hair high side. But not in the pocket, which was the call, but not a terrible result. Still sitting. Actually, with that tap, it might be red as shot stone. James may be indicating that with his broom. So not a terrible result, and it's really hard to get all these reds moving. Thank you. We have Gabby here behind the glass, operating the cameras, producing the stream here for you. So thank you, Gabby, for all your work today and the whole weekend. The nice zoom in here. It might still be yellow shot stone. Tough to tell here from the overhead. Oh, we're getting even closer. Gabby, you're lovely. Thank you.
What kind of weight?
I'm going to say this commentator thinks it's yellow. Craig? What do we think? Craig is agreeing with me, and if Craig Corbett says it's yellow, no point even measuring it. It's yellow. Graham, what do we think? Also saying yellow. Okay, there we go. If you have Graham and Craig, I think you're pretty close. You're pretty sure. Peter Burgess, the executive director at Blueberry, Nova Scotia, Wild Blueberry Producers Association, looking to move some red around here. Right on the nose, springs the yellow, loses 2 reds. Very nice shot from Peter there. Better situation with the red backing removed, but Jeong still has the opportunity to hit and roll and sit 3.
괜찮아.
And if you can get this roll kind of splitting, maybe not quite splitting the center line, but maybe just edge on edge with the center line with that top red guard, starts to look really challenging for James Grattan to score this end.
애매하게 롤 되면 들 가면
Yeah, there's the indication from Minwoo Kim. Maybe 2/3 low, 3/4 low. Don't need to roll big. Just want to roll to center line. Maybe tuck an inch underneath the red guard and sit 3 all in the forefoot.
easy. Room. Hey. Yep. Whoa. Yep.
On and off, it's close. Moving now. And a little bit of a bigger roll. Yellow does leave the rings. Got across the center line. Probably rolled a hair further than they would have liked, but it is fully buried. So really tough to start to remove that red-red combination on the left side of the house as we look at it. But does leave an opening for James Grattan to get to the button and save this end for his team. James and Peter taking their time with this. I don't really think you're ever bringing in the yellow in the 12-foot into play. Not sure there is a 2 or a 3 in this. Maybe a skips deuce if James can find the right angles. Looking at the run back, looking at hitting the open red. The problem with hitting the open red is you're going to be behind the tee line and maybe not in the best position. And if he knows, you might not be shot. No timing here, no clocks, no stopping at the Stu Sells Halifax Classic. So lots of time to consider all the options, and James and Peter have done that. Kelly and Ian waiting patiently, and it looks like the run back has been called. I do like this, even if you just make straight peel, then you're going to have options. Team Jeong going to have to guard, and then you're going to be drawing to the pin. So I do like this option. If you get some red moving in the rings, just bonus here for James Grattan and Team Flemming. Big backswing from James, looking to throw some weight at this, get some red moving in the rings. Kelly carving this, trying to bring this back to close to the nose, and just drives it by. Does lose the shooter to the wings, and so you will have the 4 foot available now that guard is gone. Team Jeong can either guard, or they're looking at a place in the 4 foot that would make this really challenging. So just debating the angles here. Where's the best spot for another red stone? You don't have to sit 4, but if you straight guard, you're going to leave the draw to the pin. So where do you put it in the rings that takes away that draw, that also doesn't set up some sort of hit for James to open this up and save the end? I think they've settled, they were looking at maybe corner frozen on the center line on their own. And then if James decides to hit, you're never moving the one that's back 4 foot, and you get your steal. Looking at beside the red, maybe thinking that if James tries some sort of double, that the reds will double jam, and maybe that sets up a steal of 2. So very tricky here. James is going to be in a spot of trouble. But will, with that peel, have access to the reds and should have a shot on his last.
라인 좋아.
좋아 보여.
라인 좋아. 라이차 좋아. 라이차 좋아. 그대로. 홀라인.
This is the brushes are down here to try to drag this. Over curling a hair, looking at that maybe corner frozen option, but no, they'll leave it in the top 8. And that's a pretty good spot. That's a scary spot if you're James Grattan. I don't think you can make a play on the reds. You do have to draw, and you are drawing to the pin against 4. There's the brush down.
I got a 16-1.
You're just hearing there, 16-1 to the top of the 8 foot. That is the hog-to-hog measurement. So the teams are timing the stones from the near hog line to the far hog line, and that gives them an indication of how the ice is playing. If it's playing fast, if it's playing slow. And so 16-1 to the top 8 maybe means a 15-5 to the T line, which is just absolutely fantastic speed here in end number 5. So thank you to Adam and the ice making crew.
Are we
just
coming up
absolutely
to that back
fantastic
one, or do we need
conditions.
button? No, we can nose it. Okay.
Just communication
You're
there
fine.
between James and the sweepers. If this is floating or if this is heavy, they can bring this to the back red as the audible. This is going sideways. Kelly and Ian trying to get this as far as they can, but this will grind in and on the top. And that's going to be a steal of 4 for Team Jeong. They will take a 7-4 lead after 5 ends. Grattan will have hammer. Flemming will have hammer in end number 6.
Nothing is as exquisite as the enchanting crimson and golden tapestry of fall. When revving your Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Fall for Subaru at your local Subaru dealer today.
Making some shots on that seat. Oh my God.
So, end number 6 here, playing to the home end at the Halifax Curling Club after a big steal of 4. Team Jeong will be leading us off here. This is lead. Min Kim Jeong looking to come into the top 4 foot here. Keep it open and force Team Flemming and James Grattan to set up their end and get their multiple score to get back in the game. Here we go, heavy clean from the sweepers. Just looking to guide this into the rings. And that will settle in very nicely. Really nice throw. So last end we had a little bit of trivia. We started with, in what year did Paul Flemming go to the Canada Games? The answer from Tina, 1987. We asked, what position did the Flemming rink finish at that Canada Games? Mark Robar saying silver, which is correct as well. And then who was on Paul Flemming's rink? And one of the teammates was Glenn McLeod. So again, Tina getting that correct. We're going to ask another trivia question this end, and that is, in what year did Don Flemming represent Nova Scotia at the McDonald's Brier? In what year did Don Flemming represent Nova Scotia at the McDonald's Brier? So we'll let you have some time with that. We'll give the answer at the end of the end unless someone gets it first. But that is our trivia question here in end number 6. In what year did Don Flemming represent Nova Scotia at the McDonald's Brier?
라인 좋아.
Nice corner guard from Kelly Middlestat.
이것까진 괜찮아.
So now Team Jeong looking to come into the rings again, sit 2, top 8 foot, top 4 foot. Very nice.
Good.
Down 3 with hammer. James is going to ignore the center for now, put up a second corner guard. That's how you generate points. So second corner guard being asked of Kelly Middlestat. And that's really nicely played. A little higher than the first one, but 2 corner guards in good spots nonetheless. From Kelly there, and that is going to set up the end nicely for James Grattan. Second, Jaylee Jeong was going to look for the center guard here, and this is right out of the curling textbook. Really, this is how you play if you're James Grattan, down 3 with hammer, or if you're Team Jeong up 3 with hammer. Really nice setup here. So appreciate the participation on the stream. I thought I was asking some tricky questions here, but everyone is getting this really quickly. We have Rick Edwards and Greg Doyle saying that Don Flemming represented Nova Scotia at the 1968 McDonald's Brier. Marty Gavin looks like he might have been a year off. 1 year off there. So thank you, Greg Doyle, friend of the show, Greg Doyle. And president of the Halifax Curling Club, and Rick, way to be and getting that trivia question correct. Thank you for the participation. And there we go. We have a nice center guard. So right out of the curling textbook here for for the setup of this end. Ian Jerling being asked to play maybe a hack, weight, hit, and roll on this red combination in the house. Trying to hold this straight. And will make contact on the top red. Will roll in behind the corner. Very nice piece of curling. It is third shot, but that's not important right now. Really looking at the rock positioning, and that's really lovely. Poking out maybe an inch. So Team Jeong has the ability to chase, maybe with a hack weight or a backline space weight of their own. But you know, these inside outs have been really tricky. It is going along hard off the center line. And so James may be thinking that this is the best way to set up their multiple score.
12
오!
12
얍!
죽고 있어
오!
웨이 괜찮아?
에이! 얍!
야,
얍! 헐!
Oh, look at this. Great sweep. Great weight control. The yellow poked out the back of the rings there, and just fantastic piece of curling from Team Jeong. Sitting 3 without hammer, and so now the only choice for Ian Jerling is to draw and freeze on the top 4-foot stone. And James Grattan has the broom down for that right now. Here we go, Ian over curling a hair, little bounce, but that's a really good result. Not frozen with that bounce, but is behind the center guard. Really tough to remove that yellow stone now. And so the only way to actually do that is the straight run back. Team Jeong trying to line up a double peel. I think if you're Jeong, you're okay giving up a 2 here. You know, being up 1 with hammer playing 7 is a really good spot to be. And so just looking at the way to keep this end clean and not allow Team Flemming and James Grattan to set up a big end and get themselves back in this game.
40!
Now, because the trivia has been too easy so far, we're going to ask another trivia question. Marty Gavin asking for it. He's ready. He's ready. Going to try to stump some people here. Maybe they just have Paul Flemming's Wikipedia page open. Maybe that's why the stream's getting this so quickly. But here's your next trivia question. What is Paul Flemming's top CTRS ranking? The hint is he has been in this position twice, once in 04-05 and once 07-08. I think I've stumped Marty finally, so that's good. But to you on the stream, what is Paul Flemming's top Canadian ranking?
I think.
Nice to meet you as well. So straight peel made by Team Jeong, and so Team Grattan opportunity to try to, and they didn't make the double peel, they didn't get the corner guard there. So opportunity to freeze and sit maybe second and third. Opportunity to set up the multiple score, but this is gliding. This is a little heavy, and this is going to slide straight through the rings. So not the result that James and Team Flemming needed there. Unfortunate result, and he's going to make this multiple score even harder now. Just looking around the rings at some scores here after 5 ends of play on sheet number 1. Team Asselin up 5-4 on Tremblay. On our other feature sheet, 5 ends of play in the books as well. Team Mosher up 4-3 on Team Steel, it looks like. And then on sheet number 4, 5 ends of play in the books. Actually, 6 ends of playing the book. We have a measure. It is 5-3 currently for Moybrook, but we do have a measure, so I'll give you an update on sheet number 4 very shortly as well.
여기 괜찮아? 오케이. 굿 세이프. 나이스. 11, 7, 7, 8, 8.
Okay, so nice hit and roll there made by Team Jeong.
11-7.
So to sit 4 without hammer, up 3, James Grattan electing to now play this corner freeze again, try to set up their multiple score. Peter just was a little heavy on this, so hoping to make an adjustment and really get this, get the end set up, try to set the end up here for a multiple. And we do have some answers on the stream to that trivia question. What was Paul Flemming's highest CTRS ranking? And the answer is 13th. He was 13th in 2004-05 and 2007-2008. So thanks Rick and Angela for participating. Still can't stump the chat, so we're going to have to come up with an even better trivia question here in end number 7. I've been by myself. Oh, and Jim Bradford also 13th, and with Sean Adams. Bonus answer there. Thank you, Jim, for participating and for giving us that answer. Peter Burgess coming up a little bit light and leaving the yellow out front. So Jeong looking potentially to now guard. And I've been by myself here for 5.5 ends, but I'm very fortunate to be joined now by Michael. Thanks, Michael, for joining me and saving the stream from having to listen to just me. Michael, happy Saturday morning. Thanks for joining me.
Happy Saturday morning to you too, Alan. You've got a great one going here. How could I let you have this all to yourself? All kinds of rocks in play here.
Yeah, you know what? I've been by myself for 5.5 ends. I'm happy to have someone to bounce some ideas off of here, so thank you again for joining. I know you're on the 12 o'clock game, but appreciate you hopping in a little early with me here.
Not a worry.
So I think we're looking for a center guard here to sit 4 without hammer. Slow start for Team Jeong in ends number 1 and 2. Grattan getting out to a 4-1 lead, but they've turned on the heat here and are really applying some pressure, Michael.
Yeah, incredible. Big steal in 5.
Big steal, yeah. So this is coming a little deep. They were just looking for a guard, but I don't think up 3 without you're complaining if you're sitting 5 either.
and 3 deep on the center line.
Yeah, James will have a double there on the wide 8-foot and center stone to maybe get a single, but that'll leave him open. Looking maybe at a hit and roll frozen. Very precise shot there. Yeah, not a lot of good options for James Grattan and Team Flemming here.
There are a lot of red stones in the rings.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm running out of time, so Grattan would like to build a multiple score here. At least get close for the last 2 ends.
If you're, when you're down 3, you're obviously, and you have hammer, you're looking for that multiple score, Michael. But you're also maybe doing some math on how do we get ourselves back in the game. You're looking at 5, and you know what? Scoring here is a must. You can't give up another steal.
For sure, you're almost all in at this point. 8 ends goes by pretty quickly.
So you can go single, steal, steal in 7 and 8, and then you have to steal in the extra. Yeah. That might, if you get a multiple steal, I mean, amazing. But you're kind of stealing your way out of this game right now if you're James Grattan.
For sure. I think even with the multiple score, even with a 2 here, they're looking at least 1 steal.
Yeah, absolutely. Would be very impressed. Big swing and momentum if James can find a deuce in the end. It's not looking great.
Again, one of the things we love about this game is it ain't over till it's over.
Yeah, there you go. Big weight here. Ian Jerling brushed down, trying to hold this straight. That's going to be right on the beak. Oh, look at this. Lovely little bit of curling there. Good result for James Grattan. Unfortunately, the yellow's available.
Yeah, Alan, I think you're exactly right.
Indication is board weight for Jeong. Doesn't have to do anything fancy here. Really, if they lose the one on the button, that's fine.
Yeah.
Just get the yellow out of there. So Michael, I think you've called a few games. I've called a few games. This is the most engagement I've had with the chat so far this weekend. So Saturday morning, 9 a.m., people are awake. People are caffeinated. I'm definitely caffeinated and engaging with me. So thank you, everyone, for engaging. We have 90 people on the stream right now. Rick Edwards actually asking us a trivia question. So we have some reverse trivia.
Uh-oh.
So here you go, Michael. Your fault for joining me.
Perfect.
I have a Paul Flemming trivia question for you. Paul and Rick Edwards share the same birthday. His current age is my year of birth. When was Rick born? So that's a little bit of trickiness there. That sounds like some math, but I don't really want to do this early on a Saturday morning.
I'm not even sure what the question's asking me. We're trying to figure out
when was Rick born? Paul Flemming's current age is his year of birth in the 1900s.
Ah.
Yes. There are some X's. Like, it really is a math question. Like, you got the X's in there. Quite tricky.
Gotcha.
Now, look around the lounge here for maybe some help. No one's helping us out here, Michael. We're on our own.
We're on our own.
Now, on our feature sheet, we can pay attention to the game, too. And talk about
all right.
We had a hit and roll for Team Jeong. James Grattan now drawing against 5.
Really, this is kind of the ball game, isn't it?
Kind of has to make this and needs a nibble of the button to do so.
So back to our trivia question.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Paul's birth year is 1969.
Okay. So if he's born in 1969, that would make him 55.
It would.
Now, that would mean that Rick, potentially, would be, by our question, would be born in 1955.
Correct.
So, Rick, let us know if we're correct on that. Brushes down here from Kelly and Ian. Oh, millimeters. Really great scrub.
Just short.
Good result, I think. You know, when you're staring at 5.
Yep, absolutely.
To only give up a steal of 1, you know, not where you wanted to be. You obviously wanted to score, but now you're down 8-4. Couple ends to play. You were stuck in it, and you're just stuck in it a little bit more now.
We're deeper in it.
So, end number 7. It looks like we're going to be playing end number 7.
Not quite.
Nope. We're looking at each other. Yes, I think we're playing end number 7. So we'll be right back after.
Enjoy fall to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
지금 3D로 확인할 거예요.
So, as we start here in end number 7, an 8-4 lead for Jeong over Flemming, and lead Min Kim Jeong, or Jean Min Kim, my apologies, looking to just come into the top 4 foot. Up 4, you're just keeping this simple here, Michael.
We are. Absolutely. Really, they don't need to score any more points. They've got the points they need to win.
Yeah.
Down and back for all the marbles.
Yeah, there you go. They will have a second game. The winner of this will be playing tonight in our quarterfinals at 8:15, and we hope you can join us in person.
We're down here at 948 South Bland Street at the Halifax Curling Club at the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic. The admission is free, so please come down. The beverages are always cold and the hospitality is always warm.
I love it. I love it. I mean, we're going to be here.
Yeah,
come and join us. We have some great events today. We have floor curling from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Michael, I've been challenging folks. I will put beers on the line. I will be here playing floor curling, and if you beat me, the beers are on me. And then tonight we have our East Coast party brought to you by the Murphy Hospitality Group and PEI Brewing Company, I believe. We have an oyster bar from 6 to 8, and we have live music all evening long.
There'll be stomping tunes from 8:30 on, and oysters. Love me some oysters.
No end time, just 8:30 plus.
Till forever.
Yeah.
Till church.
There you go. So, just looking quickly around the rings here, Tremblay and Asselin playing in 6. Asselin up 5-4. Moybrook did take another point in end number 6 there. They are now up 6-3 on Argyll. And I'm trying to see around Paul Dexter again, but it looks like Mosier is up 4-3 after 5 ends of play on Team Steel. So, Rick, thank you again for the trivia question. We know we did actually get some help here from the lounge. Michael, I'm not sure where you figured this out, but we know now that Paul Flemming was born in 1968.
That is correct.
So,
if we do that, 32, 56.
So, Rick is saying you need the month and the year to get this exactly correct. Paul Flemming, I had to Google this. I don't think we were ever going to get his actual birthday. October the 8th.
Wow.
1968. So just a few weeks ago, Paul turning 56. And so, Rick, we're going to say you were born in 1956. Let us know if we're correct.
The internet knows everything.
That is, I mean, I was quite impressed with how many trivia questions I could draw from Paul Flemming's Wikipedia page. I didn't even get to, with all these trivia questions, I didn't even have to go to James Grattan's Wikipedia page. I'm sure I could have a whole nother game's worth of trivia on James Grattan's page.
Well, in that case, we're really going to need Grattan to change things around here in the last 2 ends.
Yes. So we do have a double corner from James up here. Instead of doing, you can always, split the corners, double corner. You want 2 guards in play here if you're down 4 with hammer.
For sure, and the South Korean team has shown that they're very accomplished hitters.
So Ian being asked to come around, the double corner, I'm right behind it. Yeah, it looks like 1 guard from here behind the glass. Very well placed by Kelly Middlestat. So Ian Jerling now looking to come around that. They'll have to sit 3rd shot. I don't know if there's an opportunity to sit 2nd. Slipping back 8 foot, and I think that's okay. It is poking out the other side, though. That's the big issue.
There's been fantastic finish here on the sheets all week.
Inside out has gone absolutely crazy sometimes, and it's tough for the teams to give enough ice inside out. It's really finishing hard. So 2nd, Jae-Lee Jeong looking to chase the stone thrown by Ian, and if he just gets the peel, I think that's fine, Michael, and that's what he gets.
Yep, just make stuff go away at this point.
So, James, I don't know if he has to make a play on those reds yet. He could draw a straight draw. Really dealer's choice here to try to get a 2.
It looks like we're going behind the quarter again.
Yeah, Ian just confirming their top 8 foot depth, looking to take 4 or 5 feet off his previous throw. And again, I think you probably want to actually over curl this half a stone.
It makes the hit on the back one, which you can see better than I, is quite exposed on the outside of the corner.
Kelly and Peter, though, are brooms down out of the hand. This does not look like it is top 8 foot depth. Unfortunately, this is settling in. Ian pulled the string a bit and is going to leave this out as a guard.
And unfortunately, slightly offline, so they may both go.
Yeah. There's the indication. Double peel. Now, here's a fun fact as well. More reverse trivia for us. On October 8th, Paul Flemming's birthday, in 1956, Don Larson pitched a perfect game for the New York Yankees in Game 5 of the World Series. Very fun. Thank you, Rick, for that.
against, I believe, the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I wouldn't have known that. Michael, thank you. Rick, maybe you can confirm. Was it against the Brooklyn Dodgers? The World Series champions.
The World Series champions.
The current
indeed.
World Series was also Dodgers versus Yankees, and the Dodgers coming out on top there on Wednesday night.
슈터 슈터 슈터.
Oh.
Wow.
나이스 샷. 굿골.
Avoids the jam. Still 2 reds out counting that 3rd yellow. Michael, I'm not seeing a 3 here.
No, that's pretty disheartening for Team Grattan.
Yeah. James signaling maybe a hit and roll behind the top 4-foot stone or top 8-foot stone. Really just trying to secure your 2 here.
Absolutely.
At this point.
Really, you're quite right. Without a multiple score here, we're probably done.
If you get your 2, we're probably playing 8. Try to steal your 2 and force a 9, but
tough sledding for sure.
Yeah. So we do have a final. Oh, no, sorry, we don't. My apologies. I thought I saw some folks walking off the ice, but I was incorrect. We do have Steele scoring a single in end number 6 and tying the game at 4 against Mosher. Great game there. All our sheets still in play. We'll keep you up to date on the scores as I see them getting put up.
On our sheet, that attempt at the back has just overcurled, and we've bumped the top one up. It's not all bad news. It makes it a little difficult to remove, but at this point, with a 4-point lead, Team Jeong is just getting rid of yellow-colored rocks.
I mean, sitting high isn't terrible.
Nope.
You've, Team Jeong does have to stay here, and like they have to play on that wide one because they don't ever want to jam that yellow into one of the reds. So, not great, but not terrible.
It's got to be one of my least favorite things in this game is to make the other guy's shot for him.
And that's going to be right on the nose and probably sitting 3 if you're Team Jeong. So Grattan with a lot of work to do here.
Peter Burgess asked for a little tap and flop in behind that staggered yellow-red setup.
And you know what? It is a good situation. You got the stagger. You might get another miss. There might be a multiple in here still.
Starting to move now.
Kelly and Ian trying to hold this. Straight draw maybe now. A little tap, roll.
Still pretty good.
That's pretty good. That second shot.
Yep.
Do you rip the top one?
I think so. I think that.
Or do you blast the combination? Team Jeong looking just to eliminate Yellowstones.
Correct.
Nothing fancy.
So as one of our more experienced curling commentators might say, this looks promising for about the next 9 seconds.
Might only be 6.5 seconds.
Yeah.
I think our ByeongJin Jeong is going to be rearing back, throwing some heat at this one.
Looks like we're playing thin on the back red one.
I don't know, though. Like, the yellow-red is staggered that way. He thinks he can maybe get it over the top. Maybe the yellow. See what he gets here. Oh. Oh, my.
That may still be in the rings.
That was the phantom sweep, the encourage, the airwave encourage to try to get that yellow out. Not sure if it is, though. A lot of work to bring it into play.
Yeah.
But maybe a chance here now for James Grattan to score a big end.
Still some work to do. It's not a particularly favorable geometry for Grattan at this point.
I mean, I do like this call, hit and flop in front of the yellow-red. If you get a double jam,
yep,
all of a sudden the end's on.
Yep.
Need some help. Still, when you're down 4, you need a lot of help.
Yeah.
But I think if you asked them if they had this shot at the beginning of the end, they'd take it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're in a much better position than we were 2 rocks ago.
Yeah. So this will be about a control weight, I think. Nice takeout and flop towards the broom in front of that yellow-red on the edge of the 4. Normal's the call. Little 9.5 second stone maybe. Has to curl. Needs to hang around. And we'll roll big. And sit 4th. So I don't know if you have to get fancy if you're Jeong here and play on that yellow. You just take away the big end. Right? Yeah.
Maybe that's the way to go. Again, with a 4-point lead, 2 is not a big deal. 2 up with.
Yeah, exactly. There is, that's exactly it. James will have a shot on his yellow-red into the side 8-foot red to score, to bring stones into play. So you really just, you don't need to make his shot for him, make it simpler. Just remove this yellow in the side of the 12-foot.
I think they're looking at that wide double that we just saw on the overhead. There we go.
From the back, it looks like that yellow in the 12-foot is in.
Yeah.
Overhead doesn't quite show it that way, but from the back, it does look like it's in.
Do you suppose you're ever able to save that top yellow stone? I'm wondering if Grattan plays some sort of wide double from yellow to red.
Yeah.
For perhaps 3, maybe 4.
Yeah. Jeong is looking, I think, to just remove the stone that James just threw. If you stick around in the 12-foot, you're probably just drawing or nosing for your 2. This rolls out. Worth a conversation if the double is worth, and the risk of a 3. This is going sideways, though. And they do hold a nice sweeping.
All right. Well, there goes the 3.
Yeah, there goes the 3. Just a nose. Could draw, but either your dealer's choice to get your 2.
Suppose you can ever come off the outside red one with enough force to drive the 4-foot red across.
That'd be something else.
Yeah.
I mean, you could play like
very, very flat.
If you threw a bundle like Amos Mosaner or Benoit Schwartz 4-second stone, you might actually be able to play off the yellow and spring it across the rings into the red. But I don't know if that's there even with the 4-second stone.
You got to score here.
Yeah. I think this is just
the
normal
easiest
weight.
way to do it. Yep.
Normal weight on the beak.
Take the 2.
Yeah.
We are down here at the Halifax Curling Club at the Stu Sales 1824 Halifax Classic.
James Grattan with his last here in 7, looking for a 2. Kelly Middlestat brushed down. This is curling early. But I think that's enough. Oh, no. Maybe I spoke too soon. That'll roll by. Commentator's curse.
That is unfortunate.
That's a single. Only needed a 2, and that's handshakes here between Jeong and Flemming. Jeong starting slow, going down 4-1, but really coming in strong the second half of this game, and they will move on from our crossover game into the quarterfinals tonight.
Very exciting and good work. Good work for them.
Yeah, so I think we are going to stick on board, and we will shift over to sheet 1. Gabby behind the glass here helping us out, being an absolute all-star. Appreciate all the work her and the production team have done this weekend. But we're going to switch over to Asselin versus Tremblay. We have what looks to be a 6-4 lead for Tremblay. No.
Maybe 6-5.
Maybe 6 to Yes, there it is. 6-5, playing in 7. I don't know if you told us before the event that Aslan would have been the 4 seed out of their pool.
Exactly.
That many people would have predicted that, but they are the 4 seed. And playing against Tremblay, who has had a very strong tournament. The 1 seed in their pool. And playing a great game apparently. Really tight 6-5 game there.
Folks viewing and certainly we commentating are certainly more familiar with Felix Aslan's team.
Mm-hmm. Friends of the tournament. They come, I think, every year. I don't know if they've missed Stu Cells.
That's fantastic.
That
so
actually
they've been here for all 7. That should be a trivia
that
question.
might be a trivia question. We might have to get some historical records here and check if that's true or not. But I do think they've played a number. They've definitely been to a number of Stu Cells. And I was talking with some folks last night. I don't know if they've ever played with 4.
Is that right?
I don't actually know. I'd have to check the history again. But I was talking with someone. I don't know if I've ever seen Jean-Francois Trepanier sweep with a partner.
Wow.
I think it has always just been him.
So he must like that. And Jean-Michel Menard, addition to this team this year, as they try to accumulate points to perhaps get into the Olympic Games qualifier.
That'll be, we talk about curling in Nova Scotia the next year, the next 12 or 14 months. Like, we have the mixed doubles trials here in Liverpool in a month or 2. We have the pre-trials in Wolfville next October, and we have the curling trials in November of 2025. Just fantastic.
A big year of curling for us.
Thank you to everyone at the NSCA and the bid groups for putting that together. Like, a lot of volunteer hours go into bringing those events. Just bringing those events to Nova Scotia and then putting them on.
Putting them on, indeed.
Fantastic opportunity for the sport in our province, and thank you to everyone who is going to be involved in those events. Really exciting opportunities, or really exciting to have those coming. And I was talking with Dan Baldwin yesterday. He joined me on one of the broadcasts, the executive director of Nova Scotia Curling, to talk about that. And I mean, it's not just curlers. Ice makers have the opportunity. Statisticians, everybody has an opportunity to enhance the level that they are producing curling at, however you're involved.
Absolutely. And certainly for the smaller clubs in Metro in particular, but all across the province, there's an opportunity to learn from the elite in their particular field.
Yeah. I know Dan's very excited about the opportunities to expand the game to new communities that haven't historically played the game or participated in the game, using this as an opportunity to grow the game in Nova Scotia. Very exciting.
Big shot here on sheet 1. Martin Kret moving things around.
So let's Tremblay playing red stones, Aslan playing yellow stones. Aslan with hammer here in end number 7, down 1. 3 yellows floating around the house, I think it is.
Looks like yellow is lying 1 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that was an attempt to try and unlock some of that mess at the top of the house and hope for Aslan to generate a multiple point score.
Oh my goodness, look at this, the broom taps going on here. Red into yellow into red into yellow to try to move all the yellows out of play. That'd be quite the shot for Team Tremblay if they were able to pull it off.
Team Tremblay from their home club in Etchemin is made up of Julien Tremblay as skip, with Jean-Michel Arsenault throwing the third rocks. And on the front end, we have Philippe Broussard at lead and Jesse Mullen throwing rocks 3 and 4. The Aslan rink from a bunch of clubs, from Glenmore, from Belvedere, from Des Collines and Etchemin and Valleyfield.
Oh man.
Has Felix Aslan as skip, as well everyone knows, with the previous Brier champ Jean-Michel Menard taking the role of third this year, with Martin Kret and Jean-Francois Trepanier making up that team.
So I think they were looking at sort of a red, yellow. to remove everything, but they've elected to just play this hit and roll off the back yellow and sit a red in the forefoot. This will just be on the beak.
Yep.
Didn't get the roll under.
Still an awful lot of red rocks there.
And a relatively straightforward red run back to remove the shot stone right now. So Felix and Martin have to scheme for a way to get their multiple here. We don't have the mics on this sheet, so it's just Michael and I providing you with the noise. We'll do our best to read the minds and the lips, but no promises we're going to get it right. Here at the Halifax Curling Club, 948 South Bland Street. This is the first of 2 crossover games on the men's event. We do have the final draw of the women's event here at noon. So we're starting to see those teams filter in slowly but surely. That's going to be in about an hour's time. 12:45. My apologies. So just an hour and a half away from the final draw of the women's event. We're going to start to see the playoff situation take shape, Michael.
Indeed.
Really exciting.
Yeah, we've got a good one coming up. At 12:45, we're going to see provincial champions go at each other. Daniel Inglis from the Ottawa Hutton Golf Club against our very own Christina Black from here in Halifax. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that'll be a great game. Felix making a double and roll. That is a lovely little bit of curling to get the staggers right. And all of a sudden now it's not looking great for Team Tremblay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that goes anymore.
No. Look at that. Gabby, we were staring at our left here trying to get it. Gabby not just being an absolute fantastic producer, giving us another TV screen, another angle. So thank you again, Gabby, for all your work this weekend. Appreciate you and everything you've done to bring this event to the masses.
That seems like a perfect segue to thank our sponsors. Our presenting sponsors of the men's event are Steel Subaru, the women's event sponsored by Neon Train with partner sponsors, the Curling Store, Crombie Wright, Scotia Square, the Murphy Hospitality Group, PEI Brewing Company, and our supporting sponsors. Great thanks to Stanhope Simpson Insurance and, of course, Stu Sells Realty.
So no timers here, no clock. So Tremblay getting the whole rink down there to talk about the angles, to talk about how they, don't give up a multiple. Being tied with Hammer coming home, I think they'd be really happy with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, you'd always like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, oh my goodness, yeah. So I think they're playing an in-off, the yellow there. Double potentially. Kind of trying to maybe get a half stone across into the yellow-red, maybe even get the yellow that's in the forefoot moving. I imagine that Julien Tremblay's throwing some heat at this.
I would think. It'll be interesting to see where the shooter ends up, because it's going to come back toward us a bit and spring that red one a little wide.
If you just got the 2 yellows in the 8-foot moving and only gave up a 2, I think you'd be happy.
This looks a little full. Looks a lot full. That was a big opportunity.
So, where's the 3 now if you're Felix Asselin? Is there, with those staggers, something that gets a 3? Or are you drawing to the forefoot for the 2?
I feel like you kind of have to unlock that mess at the top of the forefoot right now.
Oh, Felix has a whole other shot left.
They do.
Oh, I thought this was Hammer. Oh, my goodness. We don't have the stones on our screen here, so I was a little lost. So still one more setup shot for Felix. Martin and Felix staring at the wide one, back forefoot.
Looking at everything, yeah.
Yeah. Oof. Like, the yellows never go, but it's also really tough to make the reds go.
Yep.
The angles are kind of good both ways.
That might be the option. Pound the top red one. You're going to lose the back yellow, but you'll still have 2 yellows in the rings,
Yeah.
separated.
Felix looking at a drawback button.
Maybe.
Yeah, there you go. Playing wall side, looking to draw back button.
Got to be a little careful here. Can't be too deep or too wide that leaves something in off and kind of takes this end away and makes your one very hard.
Absolutely right. Thinking maybe you make this good and get a miss from Julien Tremblay, you might just have a draw for 3. You don't have to play the combination at all.
Yep.
As much as I think I want to see the combination because I want to see how these angles work out, Felix may be thinking I don't want to tempt fate here. Jean-Francois brushed down right out of the hand, trying to hold this straight. And does crash on the top yellow, settling in the 8-foot for 3rd and 4th.
This is going to be interesting to see what happens here. Can you ever hammer the top red one and everything goes?
That is what Jean-Michel Arsenault, I think, was signaling there, is there might be an opportunity right there. There's the broom, 3/4, maybe 7/8 high to get a lot of yellows moving. Also the straight slash on the yellows too.
And spray granite everywhere, yeah.
Really just looking to only give up 1 here. If you're Tremblay, what's the best way to do that is the debate. So sheet 1 is the furthest behind. Both other sheets that are still in play are in 8. We have Mosher and Steele on sheet number 2 with Maria Fitzgerald and Hugh Avery on the call. We have Mosher up. It looks to be 5-4. Steele with hammer coming home. And then on sheet number 4, we have another great game. Looked like Moybrook was up 6-3, and Team RGL taking a 2 in 7. It's Moybrook up 6-5 with hammer. And we just saw the hammer thrown. I think it was a little run back and a miss. And so steal for RGL, that is 6-6. They're going to be playing 9 on sheet number 4.
On our sheet, a great outside in slash to kill that back yellow.
And so Felix now looking at nose, hair, yeah, just nose to try to score 2.
Unless they're blanking.
Unless they're blanking.
The way that sweep went, it looks like this is an attempt at the blank.
I am not sure the blank is on.
I had a full recoil on that one.
Yeah,
Here
a little bit of heat.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. That is a steal of 1 for Tremblay. They'll be up 7-5. Asselan with hammer looking for a deuce to force the extra in end number 8. Hello, folks. End number 8 here on sheet number 1. We were watching Team Jeong and Team Flemming earlier. Team Jeong picking up a win. And so now we're on sheet number 1 with Julien Tremblay up 2 in end number 8 over Team Asselin. My name is Alan Ehrenholtz. I'm joined here by Michael. Michael filling in early. He was supposed to be on at 12:45, but saw me by myself and was very kind to jump in and help me out here.
Or just can't read a schedule and arrived hours early.
That is fair. That is fair. I mean, the schedule does say the draws at 12:45 a.m. So no curling overnight here. Not a 24-hour spiel. Should be 12:45 p.m. and we'll be joining you in an hour and a half with the final draw of the women's round robin. You mentioned earlier Danielle Inglis versus Team Christina Black. Should be a great one.
We were talking between the ends whether that was something we might have tried. Was it more important to get the 1 point there, be tied without, or down to with? I'm not sure. I kind of like the tide. And trying to steal the last end rather than try to score 2.
Yeah, I don't know what the analytics say there. Down or tied without, I think you lose 85% of the time is what the analytics say. Now, here, how many times do you get your 3? Because if you even get your 2 and you go to 9,
we're in the same situation.
We're in the same situation. So not a great spot if you're Asselin, but maybe there's a 3 in there somewhere. Get you a big end and get you your win without playing 9.
Again, that's why we love this game, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. So on his first, Jean-Francois putting up a very nice corner and now being asked to put up the other corner to set up the end.
I'd be curious as the analytics on the split corners versus the stacked corners.
Another great question. I actually don't know. Feel like teams use them relatively interchangeably. Personal preference. Don't know if there's any analytics that show if one's better than the other.
And it's certainly what the sheet is going to give you.
Yeah. I do feel like if you play the split corners and they're dead level, there's never a double peel.
Correct.
So that's really nice. Jean-Francois, a little bit of a stagger there, but really tough double peel. So 2 good corners from Trepanier. Whereas if you do put them on the same side, Michael, there is always the opportunity for the double peel to be made.
And certainly with how hard and how accurately these guys can throw, those stacked ones are never safe.
So as this comes down, Tremblay looking to sit 3, not going to play a center guard here and give more for Felix to work with. We got presented. Phil Kroll came over, visited us. Very kind. Phil Kroll organizing the event. Thank you for all your efforts, Phil. He gave us a coupon for some chowder. So for lunch here, we do have chowder upstairs. We got food all weekend. We have the patch tonight. Fantastic atmosphere at the club, and we hope you can join us at some point in person today.
We are at 948 South Bland, just off English Street. Admission is free. So please come down and experience all the game has to offer.
And we do have some events on today. Floor curling has already started. It is upstairs. I will be upstairs floor curling later. I would challenge anyone to come down. The beers are on me if you take me out in floor curling. And then tonight we have the Oyster Bar from 6 to 8 and the East Coast Party, Stompin' Tunes, live music 8:30 onwards.
That's down here at the Stu Cells 1824 Halifax Classic. So again, every end that we've sat through looking at that sheet, there have been a ton of rocks in play, and we're at it again.
No fear of the rocks in play. Tremblay, now where that stone ended up, it is buried, but free kind of shot for Tremblay to play the peel and maybe catch another yellow on the, almost hard to miss the yellows, really, if you play this peel.
Yeah. Like that.
Oh, but it comes over the top and the yellow stays in play, probably still very buried.
Actually made it better, for sure. Yep.
So it is fourth shot, so a lot of work to bring it into play, but I think Felix is going to be pretty happy with that result.
And Tremblay kind of gets what he wanted in that one of those corner guards is gone.
It is a starting point. Like when you're up 2 without, you do just want to remove yellows, remove guards, keep it as simple as possible. Felix now looking at a freeze to the back 8-foot stone. Tricky shot to make because you don't often play that back 8-foot weight to make a straight freeze.
Right. Martin Kret delivering.
Martin Krat, probably biggest set of lungs in the Bonspiel. Good shout, good set of lungs on Martin. I'm sure he'll let Jean-Francois know if this is tight or needs any sort of sweeping.
This is certainly all there.
Gonna settle in, back 8, does nuzzle up against it.
Looks like it may be third shot, but it is behind cover.
Yeah, that's not terrible.
Nope.
Great curling language there. It's not terrible.
Not terrible.
I don't know if I've ever called one of my own shots good. I usually go for the not terrible variety.
Doesn't affect me in a negative manner.
Someone asked me to dumb something down the other day, and I said, no, that is an alternative pathway to understanding.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're going to dumb it down. We're just going to have an alternative pathway.
As a teacher in my day job, I'll have to use that again. The alternative pathway.
Yeah. So we do have a few games still on the sheet here as we watch Jesse Mullen deliver this stone.
This is a much wider line than Kret threw. They're desperately trying to get this to move.
And heavy.
Yep. Not really close. That's unfortunate.
Now you almost want this to hang around if you're Felix as like a catcher. He's going to remove it. Okay. Looking at the other sheets, we have third stones on sheet 2. Hugh Avery and Maria Fitzgerald on the call there. Carrie McLean delivering in a 5-4 Mosier lead over Steele. And then on sheet number 4, they're playing in end number 9 in a 6-6 tie. It'll be Moybrook with Hammer there looking to close that one out.
And over there, it looks like Moybrook has been successful in at least keeping the front open.
Yeah.
There's not much going on.
No, that again, when you're tied with, you're just trying to keep that as clean as possible. Give yourself a nice open house on your last, aren't you, Michael?
Absolutely. Back to our game, a whole team discussion about where to hide this next one.
Yeah, it is Martin's second, so would be seconds last if we were playing with 4. Do you start needing to remove red, or can you leave them in play for one more?
I would kind of like to leave them in play for one more because I feel like if you remove one of those reds, then Tremblay is just going to wail away at what's left.
I'm with you. I do think you probably, I don't mind the same shot. Freezing your own that you just threw.
Yep.
And I think that's where they ended up.
I feel like that's the one that puts the most pressure on Tremblay. It makes him make something precise.
You either have to now commit to like being stuck in and drawing and freezing yourself, or you're blasting the top 8 and hoping to move some yellow. So we just saw Jesse Mullen throw a bit heavy and a bit wide and go straight by. So Martin, having just made this, looks to be close again on that back 4, back 8 weight.
If you're just joining us, this is the 8th end, and you've missed the previous 7, but Martin Kret coming to a stone in the back. Team Aslan trying to steal 2 to get this game to an extra end.
Oh, what a shot.
Great.
Just lovely.
Stays in time to be shot rock, forcing Tremblay to have to do something with it.
A little bit of breathing room. Tremblay might be able to blast the top one and get some stones moving, but if you can force him to start removing his own stones for you, I think you're pretty happy.
Absolutely. Yep. I think Aslan is in a pretty good position to score a 3 here. That blast on the top,
Yeah.
I think, reduces that possibility.
Full team conversation here. Tremblay almost looking at a draw. Like, are you stuck in at this point? Or, you know, I think you blast. You don't have hammer, but I think you're always. Oh, no, never mind.
Wow.
Julian contradicting me and saying we're getting stuck in. Now, if you make this good, there's a double on the wide 4-foot one.
There is. Yep. And you've managed to leave 3 yellow rocks in the rings.
Yeah. I'm not sure about this, even if it's made perfect.
Yeah. Now, again, all week we've been talking about how at this level, at the elite level of the game, you're trying to dictate your opponent's shot.
Yeah.
To find a way.
So maybe
To
they're
apply
thinking,
pressure.
let's make this freeze, make Martin make the double, and then we can start blasting.
This is, again, a little wide, but perfect weight. Fantastic. Great finish.
Great finish. Sits shot stone, and there you go. Felix automatically tapping for the double.
Yeah, I think if that's a foot deeper, that double is quite a bit harder.
Very skinny then, yeah, for sure. If it's right to the yellow stone. Still a third?
Yeah, this looks almost unmissable, really.
Yeah, I mean, even if you make this thick and roll to the button, it's not a terrible result.
No. Anything thin seems automatic here.
Yes. So, Martin Kret here with his final stone. Thirds. Oh, I said seconds. Seconds first earlier, but I do believe this is now seconds or thirds last. My apologies. Jean-Francois Trepanier trying to hold this straight. Hits it thick and rolls in behind the corner.
Cool.
Little different.
Yeah.
Not a bad result, though. I don't know if you ever thought Tremblay would want to throw a guard here, but you might have to.
Yeah. That kind of surprised me.
It came off the center line really hard.
Yeah. But to me, that seemed like the best opportunity to get rid of that 4-foot red.
It's going to be tricky now.
Yeah.
We do have a final. I didn't see the result, but it looks like Team Oybrook is
There are
pretty
smiles,
happy. So
yeah.
I assume it was pretty clean. He would have just had to pick 12-foot for the win. And super volunteer, Emma Arnold to our left, is indicating that we are correct. Emma providing the live updates, doing all the measurements before the games. Has been here all week. Just fantastic over there. Thank you for all your efforts this week. So more conversation here. The guard was indicated. Now we're talking about maybe drawing again. I don't know if I love the draw, because if you get the angles wrong, there's probably a triple.
Yeah,
Aslan will be sitting 5.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they decided on. I quite liked the guard.
I do. I'm kind of at a loss as to why we didn't move that red one. With Martin Kret's last one, it's looking very much like we're going to see a high yellow guard come screaming into the rings here.
Yeah. I don't know if you can come in if you're Jean-Michel Arsenault. This is Julien Tremblay's first. My apologies. We're into skip stones here on sheet number 1. So that, yes, the guard is being called. Didn't decide to come into the rings.
Needs some finish here. Conveniently enough, the ice this week has given that to them.
So that's a little tight, though.
It is.
A little tighter than they would have wanted. Felix has 2 stones and has to move a lot of red. He only needs 2, though, and he's got 4 floating around the rings. So opportunities, for sure.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like you kind of have to move something on the center.
If you can drive the red run just thrown, it might jam.
Yeah.
That's what they're worried about.
Yeah.
You almost have to play it the other way.
Yeah. And you may get lucky and catch the red one on the forefoot. Because the back yellow, as these are welded together, it's certainly going to move, but it's kind of corner frozen on that red, so it may stay in the rings.
Yeah. Or, I mean, you only need 2. Skips deuce. If he corner freezes low side on the red.
Yep. What do you do then?
What do you do if you're Tremblay? Like, guard the other draw and hope he doesn't make it? Like, more stones in play, I'm sure, than Tremblay would have wanted to start this end. On sheet 2, our other feature sheet, Colton Steele drawing to the 4-foot to force an extra. That's a 5-5 game. Team Mosier will have the hammer playing in the extra. Somewhere, Adam McCarahan with 2 extra ends. This one taking a while. If it goes to an extra end, I am sure he's a little nervous. Looking over at him. Very calm and composed, though. Adam never shows his emotion. Very calm guy. He's going to be okay. So it looks like they've settled on the run back.
Yep. I think the hope is that red to the 4-foot red and at least separate that mess a bit. I suppose in a perfect world, if you get that thin enough, everything will go.
Yes, wow. Wouldn't that be a shot, eh? So here he is, Felix Asselin.
This is coming right along.
It's close.
Really close. Oopsie.
Does move a lot. Now, with the way that redstone ended up corner frozen,
yeah,
I think it's always nose, and I don't know if there's a 2, if this is made.
Especially if this sits right here. So if this nose hit is made, I don't know how we score 2.
No. I mean, even if you roll out, how do you move both reds? Or actually,
no, I think you're right.
Jeez. Just the wrong angles. They were worried about that jam on the left side, and it came into play, unfortunately, for Felix. And Julien Tremblay here, nose hit to really kind of seal the game. And that's well played. Handshakes. Yeah, Felix isn't going to throw.
Yep.
There you go. So that is Julien Tremblay picking up a win over Felix Asselin. Earlier we had Team Jeong picking up a win over Team Paul Flemming. Moybrook beating Argyll. Sheet 2 still in play. If you want to switch over to Hugh and Maria's call, you have Mosier and Steele in an extra end. My name is Alan Ehrenholtz. I was joined here by Michael. Actually, Michael, I don't know your last name.
Mike Nichols.
Mike Nichols. Thank you, Mike, for joining me. We'll be back on, the 2 of us, working together again at 12:45.
In just over an hour, yep.
For Team Inglis and Team Black in the last game of the women's round robin. We'd like to thank quickly our sponsors, Steel Subaru for the men's event, Neon Train for the women's event. We have partner sponsors with the Curling Store, Crombie Reed, Scotia Square, the Murphy Hospitality Group, and the PEI Brewing Company. And finally, our supporting sponsors, Stanhope Simpson Insurance Company and the Stu Sells Realty Company. Michael, any final thoughts before we sign off?
It's just a great morning of curling. We've got more draws this afternoon. Admission is free. Come down and visit us here at 948 South Bland at the Halifax Curling Club.
The show, thank you, Michael, very much. The challenge is put out. Floor curling before the next draw. Beers are on me if you beat me. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you will join us again. This is Alan Ehrenholtz on behalf of Mike Nichols, signing off.
Nothing is as exquisite as the enchanting crimson and golden tapestry of fall. When revving your Subaru with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Fall for Subaru at your local Subaru dealer today.
Hey, curling fans, I'm standing here in front of Sheet Stew here at the High Park Club, and I just want to let you know that I'm so excited to sponsor the sport of curling, to help curling out. So you can go to stewcurls.com, see all my events, see the Stew Sell series, but you know what? I also sell real estate as well. So you need to buy a house, list a house, condo, rental, business. Look, give me Stu a call.